I had undergone my exams with the urologist like I was supposed to on my 40th birthday, not even my 50th. I didn't have any signs or symptoms that comes with, men realizing that they have a prostate issue. I had no idea what my PSA was even supposed to be. My son and I have been restoring a 1977 Chevrolet pickup for years. So he and I went out to the Pate Swap Meet, and we had woke up late. It was hot. We almost didn't go, and I realized that, hey man, it's the last day of Pate Swap Meet. Let's go. So instead of doing what we would normally do and look for everything that we would look for at the swap meet, we just went to go see cool cars in the back where the car corral is back there. And in doing so, he and I were walking out, and this guy tries to hand me a flyer, and I didn't take it. I said, we're good. And I pushed the flyer away, and we kept walking. Well, then he pokes me in the fat belly with the flyer. And he's like, no, you need this. And I'm like, dude. And at that point, I was rude to him, And I pushed his hand away. I said, we're good. And as I was walking away, that guy, he yells at me. He says, prostate cancer is real. I had a friend that was going through it. So I stopped, and when I turned around, Anthony immediately runs up to me, and he's like, listen, I'm 84. I've had prostate cancer, and your doctor needs these numbers. How old are you? I told him I was 44. So he's like, listen, when you're an old man like me, you're a young man, but when you're an old man like me, your doctor needs these numbers. So it's a free test. And I'm like, what's going on? He said, well, we're giving free prostate checks. And I looked at my son, and I looked back at him. I said, not a chance. Anthony starts laughing. He waves his hands in front of his face. He goes, it's not that kind of test, right? So he said, we just prick your finger, put a few little drops of blood on a postcard, and then we give you one of these. He reached in his shirt pocket, and he's like, we give you one of these, and you can scan it in a week, and you'll have your numbers. Like, he was very persistent. The man that I was rude to saved my life. Gail called me personally, rather than letting me find out on the internet. She called me, and I was at work, and Gail said to me, she said, listen, I'm not telling you that you have cancer. What I'm telling you is that your numbers are out of control, and you need to see a doctor today. She said, this is not something you can put off. This is not something you can ignore. You need to see a doctor today. So at that point, I realized it was pretty serious. The test that I took at the swap meet was within 0.2 of the test that I took in the lab. So, I mean, very accurate. And I'm pretty sure this is my first PSA check ever. And it was 17.7, not 4. They removed my prostate. Come to find out, I've had it since my 30s. You think that this is I thought this is an old man disease, this is something that happens to all of us as men, that, as you age, this is a big thing. Everybody's going to get it if you live long enough. Well, I had no idea. When they took it out, the progressions that I've had it since I was in my 30s, I'm 45. The last thing that I ever expected at a car show was to, run into somebody that quite literally saved